everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I thought I would just sit down and film kind of like a 20-week, halfway through my pregnancy update. Nothing fancy by any means, but just kind of thought I'd let you know how things are going and where we're at, how I'm feeling. So yeah, we got to see baby boy yesterday. Here he is. Let's show you a little close up. There he is. He was very active, moving around, and everything looks good, but he is measuring small. So what that means for me, I'm not 100% sure yet, to be honest. They said that it's pretty expected for him to be small because my daughter was 5 pounds 12 ounces and she was full term. She was 40 weeks and a day. So she was very, very small. We had to buy preemie clothes for her and preemie diapers for her because the newborn things just like she was drowning in them. Which, by the way, if you hear baby babble, it's because I've got my monitor and she's supposed to be taking a nap and she's playing and talking to herself, which she does that sometimes before she lays down. Anyway, so yeah, so it's pretty consistent with how small she is, that they are really close together. She did just turn 1, so they will be 18 months apart. And when you have pregnancies that are closer together, the babies can tend to be smaller because of that. So, yes, I will have another ultrasound when I'm 34 weeks pregnant, and they'll just check on him, make sure that he's doing okay, see how much he's grown. And they said they're not super worried about it. I do have like my actual OB appointment today. So yesterday I just had like the ultrasound part, and one of the doctors came in really quick and was like, "Oh, he looks good. We're gonna do another ultrasound. He's really small, but you know, it's normal, ask me some questions." Anyway, today is like my actual checkup. So I'll be able to ask them some more in-depth things, ask them if like I need to be doing anything in particular. I don't really know if I do or not. But yeah, sometimes babies are just a little bit small. And I'm a very small person too, which makes a big difference. Like, for context, I'm 5 feet tall and I have not broken 110 pounds yet in this pregnancy. And I'm halfway through it. So I'm a very, very small person. I always have been. I was born small, grew up small. I'm just small, you know? So it makes sense for him to be small too. But other than that, he's looking really good, and I have been mostly feeling good. I am starting to feel Braxton Hicks contractions, which, if you don't know, they're basically just like practice contractions where your uterus tightens, but it doesn't do anything to like further you along, like it doesn't ripen your cervix or dilate you or anything like that, like real contractions do. But they're just kind of practice contractions so that your body can start getting ready. So I've been having those, and some of them have gotten kind of intense, which is always fun. And so I'm excited to be back into that stage of pregnancy again. But yeah, I've been feeling him move a ton. He is a super active baby. My daughter was as well, and that is my favorite part of pregnancy. I love feeling baby move, and it's just like nothing else. Like there's just no really good way to describe what it's like, and it's just so special. And so it's definitely one of my favorite parts of pregnancy, and I'm really excited that I'm feeling him more and more. I started leaking colostrum again. Colostrum is basically the milk before the milk. Before your milk comes in, your body produces something called colostrum, and it's basically like really thick cream, and it is gold, like yellow gold in color, and it is just packed with nutrients. It's what the baby drinks when you very first nurse, before your milk comes in, because sometimes it takes a few days for the milk to come in. So yeah, I started leaking. That's always good fun. I did with my pregnancy with my daughter as well, and from what I know about it, it doesn't really affect your milk supply or like have any, it's not really an indication of what your milk supply is going to be like or what breastfeeding is going to be like for you. It just happens for some people and it doesn't happen for others. So it does happen for me. That's lots of fun. That's another sign to me that I'm getting further and further along in my pregnancy. So yeah, overall, I've been feeling good. I'm kind of tired today. I don't know if you can tell. I'm just chugging along. It did hit me like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I'm almost halfway through my pregnancy and I have not been very active this pregnancy. In my last pregnancy, we lived kind of in more of like the downtown area of our city, and we lived on a college campus, and my mom and my sister both worked on that campus, so I would walk up to their offices all the time. I would walk to my husband's work because it was about a mile away. So during Penelope's pregnancy, I was walking like at least a mile every day, probably more, because I just walked everywhere, and I just, you know, would go on little jaunts every once in a while. And this pregnancy, I just haven't really been doing that because my first trimester was so much harder that I was like, oh, I just gotta get through the first trimester. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, I'm halfway through my pregnancy. Like, I'm out of the first trimester. I need to start preparing my body for birth. And so I've been trying to do more walking, being more active, doing some stretching, doing some deep squats to prepare my hips and open up my pelvis, stuff like that. So, am I doing wonderful at it? No. But I'm trying. I'm doing my best. So yeah. And I think chasing around a toddler does kind of count as exercise because, you know, I'm doing a lot of following her around, bending over, picking her up, picking things up behind her, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at, 20 weeks pregnant, almost 21 weeks. I'm about 20 and a half, I guess. So we're getting there. We are getting there, folks. This pregnancy has gone by really fast, and yet somehow I feel like I've been pregnant forever. Probably because there wasn't that much time in between my pregnancies. Like I said, my kids will be 18 months apart, so I was like 6 months postpartum when I got pregnant, and so I think that's probably why it feels like I've just been pregnant forever. But I'm just so excited to meet this baby, and it'll be fun to have a boy. I grew up with all sisters, so I don't really, there's things that I'm like, oh yeah, I have to think about that now. When before with girls, you know, there's just things that are different. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be a boy mom too, and it's fun. It's all fun. I love being a mom. So yeah, I'll show you my bump, and then I'll say bye, I guess. So this is where the bump is. It is getting there. With this, you can barely tell I'm pregnant. But if I pull it up and you see my other shirt, you can kind of tell a little bit more. We're growing every day. We're learning new things, and I am excited. I will probably do another one of these like check-in type videos when I'm done with the second trimester, which will be here in about 7-ish weeks. And yeah, and then maybe one towards the end of my pregnancy. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Let me know if you guys like these videos. The last one did really well, so I think you did like it. Hopefully you like this one too, and I'll see you in the next one.